Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom. This week I'm back at the Brimfield Flea Market looking for stuff I really don't need, but really want to have. So let's see what we can find. First up, I found some talking Viewmaster reels. I believe these are mostly from the late 60s, early 70s, but I'm not an expert on these by any means. And I actually don't own any yet. I have some regular Viewmaster reels, which are just 3D images. The talking ones, as the name would suggest, actually adds an audio track. And as you'll see in a minute, the way it works is it's basically like a little record on the back of the reel. It's kind of neat. These ones are all $10 each, which is just about what they go for. I checked on eBay, and the sold prices are between about $10 and $20, including shipping. So $10 is, just about right. And these ones are in pretty good condition.
Do you have a talking reel machine?
I do not yet.
Oh.
I've been looking for one.
That's what they all are.
Yeah. So it has like a record of some sort that plays in it, isn't that? I read. Let me get this out of here.
What does it say on it?
15. Would you do 10?
Sure. We use this because we might go.
Oh, okay. It's on the back.
Yeah. I guess they put them in and they, I don't know what happened to the machine, so I can't play it.
Yeah, that's all right. I couldn't afford to buy all of them, so I went with the one that interested me the most, and it was this one of Disney's Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom opened in '71, so this is from at least 1971, probably maybe a year or two after that. I'll take this one for 10. The Disney.
And you don't even have a machine.
Someday, and I probably won't find this again after I get the machine, so I'll get it early. Prepare for the machine.
Okay.
This vendor had a lot of interesting teddy bears and dolls, which I would guess are probably from the 20s and 30s, mostly. It's not really something I collect, but it's fun to look at. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more flea market videos coming up. Thanks. And this monkey's pretty cool. A little creepy, but pretty cool. This Masters of the Universe TV tray caught my eye. It's probably from about 1983. There was no price on it, but this one was pretty beat up, so I probably wouldn't have made an offer on it. But on eBay, in that condition, it would probably go for about $10 to $20. The ones in really good condition, though, can go for up to $60 from what I've seen. Now this R2-D2 is pretty cool. They're asking $125 for it. What it is a toter, T-O-T-E-R, from 1983. I actually found one for sale in the 1983 Sears Wish book. Here's a picture of it. It originally sold for $24.99, and it's not a trash can, even though I thought it was. It was actually meant to store your toys in, or weapons, as it says in the ad. So if this one were in better condition, I probably would have offered up to $100 for it. But in that condition, it's a little bit too far gone for me. But really cool to see. I've never seen one of those before in person. I've been looking for a gumball machine kind of like this one for a while, but I'm looking for one with a glass container. That one's plastic, and it's also obviously very yellowed. They were also asking $160 for it, which seems to be a bit on the high side, especially for one in that condition. I thought these plastic chairs were really interesting. They were asking $75 a piece for them, And I would guess they're probably from the 60s, most likely, maybe 70s. 75 each doesn't sound bad to me. And if anybody knows who made those or when they're from exactly, let me know in the comments. It was about 90 to 100 degrees and really humid the day I filmed this, so this fan felt really good. And I really like these old box fans, which I'm guessing are from the 60s or 70s. They seem to have a lot more power than my modern box fan does, which barely puts out any wind in comparison to that. Here's a Smurfs lunchbox, probably from the late 80s. Only $5, but it's in really poor condition. It's all faded and it's missing the thermos. But for $5, not a bad deal. This is pretty awesome, this horse here. This looks like a carousel horse, but I don't think it is because there's no pole. According to the label there, it says Indian Brave hand carved, and they're asking $2,450 for it, which, based on the workmanship there, $2,450 doesn't sound outrageous, but it's of course way more than I can afford. This vendor's here pretty much every time I come into Brimfield, and she's always got these really unusual figures for sale. They have like doll heads, funnels for hats, and then tin can bodies. The prices seem to range between about $50 and $75, and they're definitely unique, that's for sure.
Right. We're talking about flabby arm skin.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of men suffer from that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
No, they do not suffer.
Maybe
from
they
that.
don't care.
No, men always have good legs too and never get cellulite or any of that. Like good legs are wasted on men who wear pants and maybe shorts. That's what I always feel like. I see some
You
guys
walked right into the
Yeah.
Why don't I have
It's interesting
a-
conversation.
Yeah, we're not all that scared.
Okay then, moving on. This is a Collegeville Costumes Halloween costume from, I'm guessing, the 40s or 50s most likely. Looks like Little Red Riding Hood. There wasn't a price on it, but they seem to go for about $20 to $30 online.
I passed it all up to the daughter's house.
I love old Transformers from the original series, the G1 Transformers. This one is an Optimus Prime by Jada Toys. It's actually a reproduction, though, from 2019. It looks very similar to the original toy, but it's a little bit different. It doesn't actually transform, from what I can tell. And you can still buy them new online on Amazon for about $30. I'm not a big antique furniture guy, but this was kind of interesting. It's an antique roll-top desk of some sort. They're asking $2,200 for it, but I'm really not sure what year it's from. If I were to guess, I would say sometime maybe in the late 1800s. Total guess there. So according to the label, this one says it's a one-off, handmade late 19th century Black Forest German wood lantern-style medieval tower, similar to one in York, England, and they're asking $2,500 for it. Really interesting. And I love these little model ships like this. They're always just a little bit too expensive for me, though. That's probably a few $100s, I would guess, at least. I was kind of tempted to buy this Atari poster. It basically just looks like a standard Atari poster that's been framed. I don't think it's particularly old, maybe 20, 30 years max. And they're asking $40 on it, which really doesn't sound like a bad price to me, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I remember it having some sort of water damage near the bottom, possibly. But there was some reason I didn't buy it. And I've been looking for one of these ceramic Christmas trees forever. This one, though, they're asking $150 on. I saw some recently at another flea market for only $30, and for whatever reason, I didn't buy those. But now that I'm seeing that one for $150, I should have picked those up when I had a chance. Here's a bunch of character glasses, which most of you probably know I love, but I actually have all of these already, believe it or not. And if anybody ever wants me to do a video where I show all my collector glasses and all the junk I've picked up at these flea markets over the years, let me know. I could do that, I guess, if anybody's interested. And most of these were priced at about $10, which is just about what I'd expect them to go for. About $5 to $10 on most of those glasses, unless they're particularly rare. These are empty bottles of frosty root beer, which I have never heard of before. I don't think I've ever seen these at a flea market before, or ever heard of them. According to the label, though, they're from 1966 to 1969, it looks like. If anybody's ever heard of that before, let me know. Where did they sell those? I can't imagine they were local to the Connecticut or Mass area, because, again, I've never run across them before. Now this is something I'd love to hang on my wall. This is a Ronald's Play Place sign, probably from the 80s, maybe the 90s. He's got 200 on it, and I'm pretty sure last year or the year before he had this here, and I think it was priced at 300. I'd probably be interested in it for about 150 maybe. This is Gotham All-Star Basketball from 1947, I believe. He's got it for $35. On eBay, I didn't find any that had sold, but a few people are asking about 30 to 40 for them, plus 20 to 30 in shipping. So 35 does not sound like a bad price to me. I love this old playground equipment. I haven't ridden one of these in probably 40 years or more, but I can still distinctly remember what it feels like when they hit you in the face. And that one they were asking $325 on. I'd actually love to have one of those someday. This vendor's got some really nice antique toys, but honestly, most of it's out of my price range. And I do like this pencil sharpener. This one he's asking $35 for. I actually got really lucky at the Kiwanis Flea Market not too long ago, where I got one of those for $1. So if you look around, you'll often find a lot of this stuff cheaper at the smaller flea markets. This says it's a Stracto cement mixer. He was asking $145 for that. And then this is an A&P truck from the 1950s. I think it's either $300 or $350. It's kind of hard to read his handwriting. And I have really no idea what these are worth. But I really like the trucks like that one, the A&P one. And then there's some others in here that are also like from well-known grocery stores.
Yeah, these 30 before.
This is really unusual. This is a plaque, I'm assuming from a bridge. It says 1892, built by the Berlin Iron Bridge Company, East Berlin, Connecticut. And then it says patented 1878 and 1885. If anybody knows what bridge this was on, let me know in the comments. That's pretty cool. I didn't see a price on it, but I would assume it's not going to be cheap. Here's some Gulf gas station signs. They're asking $4.75 each for these. It looks like there's two. They look fairly modern to me. I would guess they're probably from the 80s at the oldest. That's my guess.
Fireplace, man.
Here's a video poker machine, probably from the 70s or 80s would be my guess. I didn't see a price on it though. I believe those are legal to sell in Massachusetts, but they're illegal to take into Connecticut. So even if I did want to buy that, it would be illegal for me to take that home. That bike's pretty cool. Don't know what type of bike it is though. They're asking $6,000 for it, but I don't see a logo on it. Kind of looks like either an Indian or a Harley. That would be my guess, but I really have no idea. Here's a couple of character glasses, or character cups actually, that I don't have in my collection. These are from the 70s. That one's Dopey, and then there's Snow White in the back. And they're asking 7 a piece, which seems to be just about what they're selling for on eBay, if not a little bit cheaper actually.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, very much. All right, thanks.
Like at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
I'm really into old computer games, so this kind of caught my eye. This is John Madden Football 2 from 1991. They're asking $85 on it. I did see one that's sold on eBay though for about $60. Does anybody else remember Pound Puppies from the 80s? I remember I had one when I was a kid. I think he was gray. And these are clothing for them, outfits. And this one's only $5, which is actually pretty cheap. They seem to go for about at least 10 to 30 on eBay. And then this Smurfette maze they're asking 40 bucks for. I was not able to find any of those for sale online though. This is another vendor that's here pretty much every time I come to Brimfield, and they sell pretty much just stained glass windows. These ones here are very expensive. It's $800, $750, and then there are some cheaper ones. I think the cheapest is $80, I believe, like those right in front of me. There's some others that are in like the $100 range. And then as we go back towards this wall here of stained glass windows, they're in like the $300 to $400 range, basically. So they're really nice, but you know, they're not cheap, that's for sure. Not saying they're overpriced, they're just expensive. I know I take a look at this vendor's fountains pretty much every time I come to Brimfield, but I think I'm going to do it every time I come because I just love looking at these things. Especially when it's about 100 degrees and humid. It's very refreshing. Just to be around them, it cools down the air a little bit. And like the stained glass windows, these are very nice but very expensive. And again, not necessarily overpriced, but expensive. That one there I think was $400 something, maybe a little bit more. It was hard to read. This one I think is $675. And of course these bigger ones go way up from there. And I think this one says $3,500 on it. I think this one was in the $2,000 range. I couldn't really read the price on that one too well. I did my best to read this one, and I think it might say it's $5,000. But again, it's really hard to read. But I think you get the idea. They're pricey. but very nice. So I guess, you know, maybe if I get 1 million subscribers someday, I'll be able to afford some of these. Maybe. Excuse me. If you're looking for character glasses, this vendor is probably one of the best ones to come to because he's got by far the biggest selection, I believe, at Brimfield, and his prices are usually pretty reasonable. A lot of times he's got stuff that's really inexpensive. Occasionally some of it's on the higher side, but overall it's very affordable and very good condition.
There's more fun to say
That metal table. And round.
This on here.
Anyone you're looking for in particular?
No, not really. Just
We're looking
looking.
for Star Wars this whole damn show, and I haven't been able to find
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Not those, the original. Well, the reason I'm asking is he's got Tasmanian Devil and the Henry Hang up there, but they're expensive legs.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody seems to have these this show. Nobody's got the Star Wars ones.
No, you used to see them all the time
I didn't see. Yeah.
for $5 each too.
Yeah. Well, they're
Not
about 10 to 12 on eBay, and I just thought, oh, I'll get them next year. And then this year, I was like, okay, I'll start getting them in time.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too. Here's those expensive Looney Tunes glasses that guy was talking about. You got Henry the Chicken Hawk, he's asking $74, I believe, and then the Tasmanian Devil at $175. I know Henry goes for about $70, but I don't remember the Tasmanian Devil going for that high, so I'll have to look into that, because I know I have him and I paid maybe $5 or $10 for it. Finally, for today, we're going to take a look at this booth. It's called Wex Rex Collectibles, and it's owned by Gary Summers, who you probably recognize as being one of the appraisers on the Antiques Roadshow. He was the guy on the right when we just walked in. He's got the long gray hair and the ponytail. Don't know if he still does the Antiques Roadshow because I haven't seen that show in a long time, but he used to be on there all the time. So this bag of cards, I think it says $500, so that's definitely a no-go for me today. And as an appraiser that's on the Antiques Roadshow, he knows what he has, and I would say he prices it accordingly. So I don't think I've ever actually bought anything from him before, but I do like to window shop, of course.
No, it's already coming. It's coming. I'm just going to keep my tarps from getting wet.
That game console on the top shelf there is an Atari XE video game system, and those online go for like $400 or $500. So I don't know what he was asking, but I'm sure it was way up there.
So I battened down all of my
I don't think I've actually ever seen one of those before. That's pretty cool.
Mary Quirk. I decided I was coming to Brimfield. I was going to bring everything I had in the kitchen sink. Sure, it's for sale. In case you were wondering.
Yeah. There you have it. That's the end of part 2 of the September 2023 Brimfield Flea Market. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. I've got a lot more flea market videos coming, as well as mall videos, store walkthroughs, and who knows what else. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.